99X. It's Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. And there's one thing that a lot of people probably don't know about me is that I love history.
I knew you liked true crime. I didn't know you were a history buff, Mr. Barnes.
Well, especially when the two are together. But I do, like when I'm anywhere in Europe, I love looking at the architecture. I love it looking like anything that's got a story behind it, I'm attracted to. That's why I'm excited for our next guest who's been on multiple times. It's time, Leslie Fram, for another Atlanta history lesson.
Love this.
Mr. James Otley, welcome back to the show. Hey, James.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. He's a fourth generation Atlantan. He's been around the area a long time. Big 99Xer for a long time. He's got two books that are like coffee table books, Atlanta History for Cocktail Parties and Atlanta History for Cocktail Parties 2, another round, which I love your stories. What, the last time we were on, what was it, Peachtree? Instead of Peachtree, it was Peachtree?
Yeah, we talked about whether they named all these streets and everything after the wrong tree.
Right.
That's so funny.
Tree.
I love that you're a historian, though. How did you become like an Atlanta historian?
Well, I was born and raised here, and my family was from here. And, I came back after law school, and I realized other than just family stories and stuff like that, I didn't really know much about the history of our city. And obviously there's a lot here.
So much.
So I just kind of started in on it. Yeah.
So what's our lesson today? What are we getting into?
Yeah, well, I got another true crime story for you here. And
yes.
Yeah.
Do tell. What year are we going to in Atlanta? What year is this?
This is 1968, Christmas time. We're over in Decatur, Emory area. And, man, this one's especially terrifying just for me because I'm claustrophobic, and you'll see when I say that. So it's 1968, it's right before Christmas, and the Hong Kong flu is tearing through Emory. Students are dropping like flies, getting sick. And so one student, Barbara Mackle, who's a 20-year-old senior, she catches the flu, and she calls her mom down in Florida to come, pick her up and take her home. Barbara also happens to be a real estate heiress. And so her mother, Jane, drives up, and she checks in at the Roadway Inn at 1706 Claremont Road. No longer there.
Barbara Mackle is a real estate heiress, and she's a senior with the Hong Kong flu at Emory.
That's right.
Hong Kong flu, is that like COVID of that time? I mean, was that like a big deal?
That's right. Yeah, it was a big deal. I don't know that it was as big a deal as COVID, but it swept through the city and made a lot of people sick.
Okay.
So Barbara's mother comes to pick her up, and then they stay at this Roadway Inn in Decatur, correct?
That's right. It's no longer there, but right near the campus. And so it's bedtime. They're getting ready for bed, and they hear this knock at the door. And they look through the peephole, and there's a man, or it looks like two men, both wearing they both look like cops. They got policeman hats on, and they say through the door that Barbara's boyfriend has been in a car accident, and they should let him in. Well, they do, and big mistake. They immediately come in and they chloroform the mother, Jane. They tie her up with the blinds. They stick a pistol in the side of poor Barbara, and they say, "Come with us. You're being kidnapped." They walk her down to the car, inject her with a sedative, and drive her out to a pine forest off of South Berkeley Lake Road near Duluth. And this is where it really, really gets scary. They tell her that they're going to put her in an underground room and deliver a ransom note. And but it's not a room; it's a coffin, and it's got air pipes. They've gone out, and the kidnappers have gone out and dug this trench out in Duluth and built this special coffin, basically out of fiberglass, and it's got a battery lamp. There's some water in there with sedatives in it, a little bit of food, and an air pump with pipes going up to the top.
What the hell? This is such an elaborate scheme.
It's elaborate. And, you said you have claustrophobia. Just you talking about this is really freaking me out because I have terrible claustrophobia.
Well, it's crazy hearing the old school way of getting them captive.
Right.
They did the chloroform like you would see in shows like in the 80s where they put it on a little towel and put it over your face. And so then they shoot the mom up. They have
it's so elaborate.
Coffin that's made out of, what'd you say? Is it clear?
Fiberglass. I don't know that it's clear.
Fiberglass.
But it's, fiberglass and planned all this out and dug the hole in advance. And there are pictures online of the hole that they dug.
How much money is her family worth?
Well, the father is a famous, very wealthy real estate developer down in Miami, and he's so well connected and so rich. He's good friends. He considers himself good friends with Richard Nixon. So I mean, it's a big, powerful family, and the kidnappers have targeted Barbara for that very reason. They know exactly who she is, and that's why they kidnapped her.
I'm looking at the box. This is terrifying.
Yeah.
Was there ever a movie about this? Like, wasn't there a movie about somebody being buried alive?
There had
I don't
to
remember.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a movie,
vaguely.
and then also, you're exactly right, Leslie. And Barbara wrote a book called 83 Hours Until Dawn. She was underground for 83 hours. But there've been TV shows on it, movie, et cetera, et cetera. You're exactly right.
I pictured it was 1.5 feet below the earth, buried completely with 2 vent pipes up near her head, and then there was a fan and a little tiny light in the box. Wow.
I'd freak out. I mean, I would freak out. I couldn't handle it. Somehow she did.
Okay, James, we have to take a quick break. I have a feeling that this story is nowhere near over just by the way you're telling it. Don't give me any clues. Don't give me any clues.
It gets crazier.
We're going to come back. You're right in the middle of a Morning X Atlanta history lesson with James Otley. He is our guest, an expert on Atlanta history. We'll be back. This is the Morning X. It's 99X.